Okay. Hi, welcome to Losing Weight with Elizabeth. I'm Elizabeth, and tonight we're going to talk about the 10 common weight loss mistakes. Believe me, I have made every single one of them. I can't even tell you how many times I've made every single one of them. But since I've actually changed from the I'm not on a diet, I'm on what? Healthy weight loss, and healthy lifestyle. You know, I mean, we have to lose the weight, of course, in a healthy way. And I think that just having fun things happen, you know, like you said, you went to the Big E. Well, of course. And why wouldn't you go? And why wouldn't you have fun? And why wouldn't you eat whatever you wanted to eat? I mean, you've lost all that weight, and you'll, you know, work to do it. You know what the thing is if you go off like a crazy lunatic, like a crazy lunatic, and have pound meatballs and cream puffs, you have to expect that you might gain a pound or two. But if you're okay with that, then that's great. But if you're not okay with that, and then you're all upset when you get on the scale and go, oh, look, I'm up 2 pounds, I could kill myself, it's just not worth it. I mean, there should be no guilt when you're indulging. You're not cheating, you're just indulging in things because you eat so healthy normally. So, you know, I think we should stop thinking that way. It's just one of the things that we should stop thinking about. Let's just go with that one. Okay, so here, let's start with number one. This is one of my favorite ones. Is focusing only on the total calories consumed. Well, you know, if you have a, say, a Snickers bar and a milkshake and a, you know, a cheeseburger, let's say it adds up to 1,200, probably more than that, but let's just say it does. Have you had anything of nutrition? Nothing of nutritional value. So even though you're still only having your 1,200 to 1,500 calories, you have to feed your body good food. And then you feel better. Everything feels better when you eat well. So many people, I know not you because you have that stomach that's so perfect, but so many people will tell me, yeah, I went on vacation and my stomach was bothering me the whole time. That's what Doritos will do. You know what I mean? If you're eating Doritos and dip and, you know, you're having, well, just forget about the alcohol. Today, every single person sounded like they were at the wrong meeting, so including myself. So we want to start focusing on the healthy calories. And I have found, honestly, I'm eating so little meat that I'm finding that codfish and salmon are just my two new favorites. I hope I don't get tired of them because I eat them a lot. And do you have a favorite thing that you like to eat?
Scallops and shrimp.
Oh, yeah. Could that be? How do you make that a quick little?
Scallops are so easy. You just sear them each side for 3 minutes, and they're sweet and delicious if you get them at a good seafood place.
Yeah.
And they're delicious. And the
shrimp same way.
Add a little bit of coconut oil and lemon, and it's really good.
I'm so hungry right now. That sounds so delicious. Yeah, I'm thinking that would be really delicious, and then you have like vegetables with that
vegetables
or whatever.
or over brown rice or quinoa.
Or quinoa, which is the better of the choices, only simply because, do they have quinoa made anywhere in this grocery store? I just want to get it made.
They do, but it's like everything else processed. It's loaded with salt and everything.
Oh.
Yeah. So.
Okay, I have to make it then. Anything else? Any special thing that you can eat endlessly and it's really good for you?
I like salad. I really do. I like salad, vegetables.
This is a very good thing. The only thing about salads, and this is the one thing that I needed to change with one person today, you need to put some protein in it. You know, like hard-boiled eggs or tuna or salmon or beans, any protein that you can think of that you would like. You need to put that with it because it makes for a much, first of all, it makes it so much tastier. I remember when we were first starting, when my friend and I were doing this together and we worked together, so we would bring lunch. 1 week she would bring it, 1 week I'd bring it. And on the big special days, we'd have tuna on our salad and think we were having something so ridiculously good. But you know, tuna is 140 calories for the can. And you don't eat the whole can. It's really good. What a savings that is. How about trying to out-exercise a bad diet? Oh, I did this so much. I would go to the gym in the morning and then go back after work. I probably worked out 3 or 4 hours a day. And I'm telling you, hard as a lunatic. And it didn't make me lose weight any faster, which is the saddest thing since it took me 3 years to lose that weight. Even though, and I did read this article this week about muscle, you know, if a man exercises and a woman exercises, the man will burn more calories. Of course he will. What else do they get to have? They'll burn more calories. But really, what is the real reason why they burn more calories?
They have more muscle.
They have more muscle. So let that be a thing for you. Why can't you just, you say, I don't want to get, avoiding weightlifting. I don't want to get, what is it?
Bulked up.
Bulked up. That makes me laugh so hard that somebody would think that women think that they're going to bulk up. They're not going to bulk up. You're not going to bulk up. You're only going to get more like little solid. And, you know, and even for me, as much as I work out and as hard as I lift and everything, I have a little overlay of skin that I'm just not going to be able to get rid of. But I can make muscle and you can see it. So I like that. I made a muscle when I went to Philadelphia in front of the Rocky thing. And, you know, I went like that, and there was this nice line there, and I was like, ooh. I was really surprised and thrilled by it. So avoiding weightlifting is not a good plan, and you really only need to do it 20 minutes 3 times a week, the easiest things you could imagine, and do the number of reps you need to do with the weight that is comfortable for you. And when it gets really comfortable, you have to move up to a better weight. You know, we went from 3-pound weights, which now make me think of this. You know, like I was using these 3 pounds weight and going, oh my God, this is so hard. And then 5, and then 7.5, and then 10, and now we're at 12.5. Because it gets easier. But every time you go up in weights, you should go a little lower in your reps till that becomes easier. So let's say you do 12 reps, you should go to 13 when it becomes easier. That's just the way you should do it. How about if we just stay away from eating diet food and drinks? No diet soda. No soda. It just, listen, I'm all for drinking your calories if it's a glass of wine, but at least that's a pure thing, or as pure as we can get it here in this country. But soda is not pure. It's just chemicals. It's nothing like what you should really be eating. And diet dinners, you know, if you get a diet dinner, it's really, really tiny, and there's just almost no nutrition in it, and it's loaded with salt. There's one that I like, and there's one that I like. I haven't had it in years, but it was chicken fried steak or something like that. But when you open it up, it's like this littlest piece of meat with this little tiny drop of gravy on it. I mean, it was pretty tasty, but it was only about 5 bites. So that's not good. So do you have anything that you could do, like in a pinch, you know, that you think you could eat and it would be quick and delicious and not dietetic? not something from, because you don't now, in the old, in the freezer section, you almost have a whole aisle just of diet food, diet frozen food.
You're talking like Weight Watcher meals and Lean Cuisine.
Yeah, all of those. Any one of those that you can think of. They're just loaded with salt and when it says that it'll last a year, it has got to be right. It's got to be not good for you if it's going to last a year. And the other thing is we're talking today about label reading, especially in this diet food and diet drinks. You really ought to read those labels. But one of the things that happened is, and stunningly today there were two, Devil Dogs and I don't know, another one of those chocolate with the white stuff in the center.
Whoopie pie?
Yeah, something like that. Anyway, and it brought to mind when I was little, we would have Kraft macaroni and cheese. And I thought it was the most delicious thing. And even in my 20s, I was eating Kraft macaroni and cheese. Then I didn't have it for years and years and years because I make my own mac and cheese, right? And I was at a friend's house, and she had Kraft macaroni and cheese that she was feeding, the 2-year-old, which is almost one of the things we feed them. And I said, oh, my God, I haven't had that in ages. I used to love that. She goes, have a little bit. And I tasted it, and it was not the Kraft macaroni and cheese of my youth. I am very certain that if we had a box of Kraft macaroni and cheese or Devil Dogs or any one of those old Hostess cupcakes, and we looked at the labels from 30 years ago, and we looked at the labels now, we would probably be able to read what was on the label then, but now we couldn't. It's so unbelievably true. So you really do need to read your labels. And the other thing is, it doesn't taste the same. The ladies who had the Devil Dogs and whatever the other thing was, said it just wasn't calorie worthy anymore. And that's
a good way to look at it.
Huh?
That's a good way to look at it.
Yeah, everything that you eat should be calorie worthy. I can't even tell you how many times I've gone, oh no, I'm not eating that. I'm just not eating that. So, it has to be calorie worthy. I can't imagine eating anything that wasn't worth it now. And I taste stuff, and here's the thing. Let's say I tasted something really good, like at Thanksgiving or Easter. One of the women brought a, oh my God, sweet potato, mashed sweet potatoes with what really, in the end result, was just pecan pie filling on the top and butter. It was just, it was so delicious. And I have really been able to change a lot of recipes to, maybe get some of that same flavor, but I could not figure that out. But I did figure it out. I used pecans and cinnamon on a sweet potato, and then in my one diet thing, or I have a few little diet things, I use Carrie's syrup, which is 15 calories for a quarter cup, which is a lot of syrup.
Oh, that is
when the other ones are 120 or something. And really, it's for diabetics, and it's 15 calories, so it's so reasonable. So, if you just do it 80-20, if you're not making meals out of diet food and you're not drinking diet soda all day and stuff like that, then a little Carrie syrup is not going to hurt you. But I have to say, and then I smashed it up, and it was just as delicious as it could be. And the best part about it was, if I eat any sugar now, it just tires me right out. I'm exhausted. Because sugar gives me that high, and then I drop down. And that doesn't happen to you either, does it? Oh, that's too bad. I know, right? I know, because I was at a function, and they had, I think I told you, they had the cupcakes, and I walked over to them, and they looked so pretty, and they were all decorated gorgeous and everything. And I had about 2.5 hours that I had to be at this function, and I thought, yeah, I'm not going to have that. I can't eat that because I will eat that cupcake, be flying high for a half hour, and then have to go sit down and be exhausted beyond my dreams. Because sugar will do that to me. So I think we should start looking at labels, not having any diet food to the best of your ability. If you could keep it at 80-20, I'm good with that because that's the only way I can do it. So I'm not expecting you. And what about taking weight loss supplements? Oh, come on. Shakes, and they don't work. They work for a short period of time. If you want to lose 5 pounds, go ahead. But if you have, 40 pounds to lose or even 20, you're not going to keep it off. If you're going to want to lose 5 pounds, lucky you. But if you want to lose 5 pounds, go ahead and do all the milkshakes you want. If it's for a special occasion, whatever. But believe me, you're going to gain that weight back and maybe even a couple of pounds. So, plus that, they're very expensive. Have you ever noticed that? Mm-hmm. Yeah, they're really expensive. So, I don't think so. And then the other thing is, when years ago they used to give you diet pills. I mean, there's diet pills now, but, you need to wear a diaper with one of them. So if that doesn't stop you from taking it, I don't know what does. And then the diet pills from when I was dieting in my 20s were just plain speed. I mean, real speed, not just from a doctor. Not only that, but the doctor, when I went to the doctor and told him I couldn't sleep because I was, I had so much speed in me, he said, "Oh, I've got the exact pill you need." And it was the pill, the speed, with time release Tuinol in it. So that's like 20 Tylenol PMs.
Oh my
So
goodness.
you would be speeding all day. My house was so clean. You would be speeding all day, and then at 8 o'clock you would pretty much pass out. Because the Seconal is really a strong drug. I don't even think they give it to people anymore. I know. And that was from a doctor. So these supplements, and, you'll hear Oprah lost this weight, or, she's taking ginkgo or whatever stuff. That's just simply not true. We're looking for an easy way out of this, and there is no easy way. No easy way. Mm-hmm. So cutting fat out of your diet is not a good plan. You need 2 teaspoons of oil or even butter a day. Mm-hmm. And I use balsamic vinegar reduction sauce for my salads, which is my favorite. I could have it every day. So I would rather use a pat of butter, let's say to, make something, or, saute some chicken, or put it on my vegetables, or put a pat on my potato, or, something mm-hmm. like that. I'd rather do that than put it on my salad. So, you guys, I don't have to worry about you having enough oil in your diet, do I? Yeah, I didn't think I really did. Okay, focusing on setbacks. See, there's another thing. If you're going to focus on setbacks, how can you move forward? That's not the direction you're going. Okay, I had a bad day. You can't let it turn into a bad week. Just because you had a bad Sunday, and I don't mean bad, I mean, let's just say you ate everything inside, which could happen easily enough. Then Monday you have to try to get back to your healthy style. And I think that's really important, that people start to focus on what they have accomplished. Have you cleaned out most of the food in your house? The bad food. Your kids don't need bad food either. Your grandchildren certainly don't need bad food. My grandmothers are all saying, "Well, I got it for the kids." Yeah, but who ate it? The grandkids never eat it. They always say, "Oh, Grandma, do you have a apple or a piece of cake, or a piece of pie, not pie, a little cake pie." Oh my God, I'm off the beaten track. But, a piece of fruit, or make them popcorn or something like that. You don't need pie, cake, the Oreos. You just don't need that stuff. Nobody needs that stuff. It's just not good for you. I mean, occasionally you're going to have cake. You know, I mean, you go to a birthday party or if they have an ice cream cake, it's all over for me. I'm going to have it. But the next day, I'm going to really try to make up for that in some way. Not by going below 1,200 calories. You can never go below 1,200 calories. It is not a good plan for your body. So the idea of going on a diet in the first place is not the deal. So that's one of the things that they say at Spark People, that you want to think of it as a steady thing. And don't you find it's easier for you now that you're eating so healthy that you can go and enjoy the Big E and have a few things and not worry too much about it?
Yeah, it took a while though, because initially when I would indulge and gain, even though I knew I was gonna, because of it, I would freak out. Yeah. But now, because I've done it so much, I know that it levels back out, you know.
Yes.
It's only a temporary thing.
It's only temporary.
Yeah.
Well, because, you know, in that food that you were eating, it's so much sugar, so much salt, so much, God only knows what's in all that stuff. And those, like, salt tends to hold a little bit, but you cannot really gain 2 pounds just because you went to the Big E. You can't. There's no way. So, overhauling your eating overnight, come on. That's ridiculous. You cannot overhaul your eating. I have people who say, oh, I cleaned out my whole house. I have nothing left in it except for, I don't know, vegetables and fruit and, just not one good thing. Well, if you start that, you're going to be deprived in every way possible. You are not going to be able to do it. And you're going to be deprived, and then you're going to eat, and you're not even going to know it. Giving up certain foods altogether. Now, a couple of people will give up bread for a week. And you know what? That's perfectly fine. I think that's a great thing. You're getting plenty of carbs. You're not going to be carb free. Mm-hmm. But, when you give up bread, you start to see how much bread you eat. And you start to have to plan and prepare to have something to take the place of bread. Mm-hmm. And that's a really good idea to do that. So, one of the ladies, she gains a pound or two. Like if she had a big day like that, she'd give up bread for the week, and that pound or two would be gone. And she does it every single time comes back from a vacation. She just gives up bread because she's so aware of what she's eating. So, focusing on the scale. Why don't we focus on our clothes? Right? Mm-hmm. Don't your clothes fit better? And when you lost weight, now aren't you starting to feel like they're...
Yes, I'm very happy when my pants come up a little easier and I can button them a little quicker.
You don't have to lay down in the bed to zip them up like we did our jeans in the day. It's true though. When all of a sudden you can start noticing it, it's unbelievable. One lady started with me a month ago and she's already lost 10 pounds.
Oh, that's wonderful.
I was really surprised by that, and she's 80.
Wow.
Right? And you know why? Because she was eating, I think, pretty darn unhealthily before. She was eating unhealthy a lot before, and now she's eating really healthy, big bowls of salad, with broccoli and cauliflower and cabbage. I mean, she's really eating a lot. But today, she was having a luncheon with her girlfriends, and she was going to have what she wanted, and I thought that was a perfect plan. But I think the first week, if you lose 5 pounds, let's say in the first week, which she did, that's a lot of water weight. But she kept off the 5 pounds.
That's wonderful.
Yeah, right? So that I always hope that everybody will keep the 5 pounds off that they lose in that first real week that they're trying. Well, only dieting and not exercise. Well, the reason for exercise when you're trying to lose weight is strictly because it's so good for your head. It's a head trip. I mean, I know you're building muscle and I know all that stuff and I love that it happens, but it's truly a head trip. It's so good up here. Have you ever walked out of the gym unhappy? I've never walked out of the gym unhappy. I walked out of the gym on air. I barely touched the ground. On the way in, I'm a little bit, I'm a little bit like going, oh darn. But lately, with a lot of my clients and friends have not been able to go to the gym, and I'm thanking God that I can go to the gym. You have to start to look at it this way. I thank God that I can walk in that gym and do exercise. When you see people at the gym and they've got their knees done, or they have a big boot on their shoe, or I would be home eating bonbons. You know what I mean? I'm so in awe of people who have some sort of disability, or they've just had some sort of surgery and they could only do so much, and yet they're still at the gym. I cannot complain about the gym anymore. I would have to, I would have to. And the last thing we're going to talk about is unrealistic expectations. Come on, you're not going to lose 60 pounds in a year. We can hope it, but if you do, I don't know how much you're losing it that quickly. But, maybe your diet before, whatever you were eating before was just so unhealthy that when you started to lose weight, you really and you really were serious about it. I mean, you can lose 60 pounds in a year, but I think you'll not learn anything. So, I want to be able to go have a beautiful dinner out, or and not think about it, or a little dessert. I was really lucky. I went out to dinner with my brother and family the other night, and I went to the restroom, and I didn't know it, but they brought a big platter of dessert, right? And when I came back, it was almost all gone. And I was honestly so grateful. I had like 2 little bites of chocolate. I was like, good. All right, and then I had a Kahlua. All right, well, listen, thank you for joining us, and have a healthy week. And don't make these same mistakes that other people will make. All right, good night. Yay! I made every one of these mistakes. Do not...